Well, hello there everybody, and welcome back to Pete's Plastic Playground, your favourite place on YouTube for Airfix kit modelling. Hope everybody's keeping well. The end of January now, which has seemed to have lasted about 15 weeks so far. It's an awful long stretch between paydays, isn't it? But anyway, we've made it almost to the end of January. I hope everybody is keeping well and enjoying a bit of modelling time one way or another. Work-wise, I've been pretty busy out and about on the road, but as you saw in the last video, when it's cold I'm allowed to do a bit indoors, and last weekend was no exception. I was allowed to do some modelling indoors, but back out here in the man cave now where normal service has been resumed. So I think it's 3 weeks since I last spoke to you, so I thought it was high time that we caught up. I think the last time I saw you I was building the Airfix 172 Mustang from Top Gun, Maverick's Mustang, which I believe Tom Cruise owns in real life. I'm not sure if I'm right in saying that, but certainly it features in the movie, I understand, from the clips I've seen. So anyway, here it is. It's finished. I'll just leave it on the top of the box so that you can have a little look at it. The only thing I haven't done is to weather any of the panel lines at the moment, to put any wash in there. But to be honest with you, I didn't really see the point actually, because it's kind of a museum piece more than anything, isn't it? Whoa! Oh. And it's quite robust. There's one for the bloopers file next Christmas. Right, the cockpit canopy has come off. It's sustained no other damage than that. So there it is. That's the Mustang done. Quite pleased with the decals underneath actually. They went on really well. So I was pleased with that. It's all out of the box. No extra bits added on. But in a little while I'll look for that canopy wherever it may be. I daren't move my seat in case I run it over. Right, so that's Maverick's Mustang. I'm going to put that back on its box actually, and put it over here on the side by the railway, so that's safe for now. I'm a bit ham-fisted at the moment anyway, because I've got a problem with my thumb, so I'm having to wear this brace. It's blooming painful, so that explains the lack of dexterity. Now, I mentioned that I was allowed to work indoors last weekend, and so the project last weekend was this little beauty. So it's a really old kit. It's the Airfix 172 Douglas Devastator TBD1. As you can see, it says on the tail, look, TBD1. Great, really old kit. And so, you know, you're faced with everything that goes with mouldings that date from the 60s, and but it was pretty good. I mean, it's I think this is a 1990s issue box, I believe, but I'll show you the actual box it came in. This is one I don't know if you've been with me a long time, you might remember that I picked this one up from the Facebook site. I got this and 4 or 5 other kits for about 10 or 15 quid, I think, and this was among them. So yeah, so I thought I picked it up and built it at the weekend, and I'm dead chuffed with the outcome. Chuffed that the decals, I don't know if you can see it, the decals sunk right down into the lines on the wing, the corrugation on the wing surface actually. I don't know if you can tell from there. And also I elected to mask off the red stripes on the wings, the black step marks, and also the red band on the fuselage. I masked all that off and painted it rather than use the decals, because I thought it would be more fun. Hugely enjoyable kit to build. Great to have the old torpedo underneath as well. You can see that there. So so this is a training squadron variant, I believe, in this pre-war livery that it's in, and so the thing that really lets it down, of course, is the canopy is a shocker. It's an absolute shocker. It hardly fits together at all, and I didn't mess around fiddling with it too much, but I did manipulate the pilot's cockpit section so it did fold back over the main canopy a little bit. But there, can you see your man in there? The figures are all right. I mean, they're old, but I quite enjoy painting those. So yeah, so there it is. There's the Douglas Devastator in 1/72 scale. I like it because it's colourful and it's quite a striking sort of finish, isn't it? It's you know, it stands out on the display shelf quite nicely for being bright and colourful. A bit like that Mustang, the one without the canopy. I'm being so careful about where I put my feet at the moment. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. Blooming clear plastic parts on the carpet. You just daren't move. But oh no, here it is. Here it is. Safe and sound. There, I found the canopy for the Mustang. So as soon as I see Cheerio, I'll put that back on and the model will be complete again. God, that was a daft moment, wasn't it? Right. You know me, and a bit of reminiscence. The next thing I'm gonna sort of show you and talk to you about actually is something that I've had in my stash for probably since 2009 maybe. Yeah, thereabouts, 2009, 2010, and it's a gift set of kits that came. I actually bought this one in Hobbycraft because it was ridiculously cheap. They had a load of them there, and this is going back, as I say, going back a good 10 or 11 years now, and they had these kits in there for 20 quid each. These gift sets, 20 quid each. Now I don't know what the retail price was at the time, but it struck me as being too good to leave behind. And when I told my dad about it, who was still with us then, he said, "Oh, can you get me one, please?" So I did. I took one up to to him, and he opened it straight away and got cracking. I know he in his garage, and I will bring him over here one day. But my dad straight away built the Zero, and I think he built the Corsair, and he might have had a go at the Buffalo, because the kit in question, or the gift set in question, is this one. Look at that. It's the VJ Day set. Now for 20 quid. Now I know they're old models. I know they're, you know, they're of their age and so on. But to me, it's 20 quid for the box alone is worth it. Look at that lovely nose art, lovely box art on there, and I just think it's a staggering kit. One of the best ones. A staggering gift set, I should say. One of the best ones that Airfix, I think, have ever turned out. I think it was a brilliant concept, VJ Day. And of course my dad had an affinity for VJ Day because he fought out in the Far East with the Royal Navy, and you know, he was out there when the Japs surrendered and so on. So he's seen all these aircraft in real life, you know, doing in action, so to speak, and particularly he remembers seeing the Hellcats and the Zeros. He saw a lot of Zeros and Ike Vals, and I think that's where he got his fear of flying from, because he saw so many of them crash into the sea. Avenger he was very fond of. So, and of course, look what's there. I don't know if you can see because of the light, but look, there's another Douglas Devastator for me to get stuck into. So, I mean, you may have noticed that the planes have got the names written on, and I stupidly, all those years ago, when I wasn't into it as much as I am now, thought it'd be a good idea to identify each aircraft so I didn't get mixed up. But there we are. The paints have gone. There were 10 tinlets of Humbrol enamel paints, and I've put those with the rest of the enamels because I only really use acrylics in actual fact. So the enamel paints are still in the little the box of enamels that I've got under my model railway. So what I did, look, I wrote on each bag the name of the kit. So this is the Helldiver. So what happened, it was after my dad passed away, I took the kits that he hadn't yet built and put them in this all of this in this one box. So to run through them, there's a Helldiver, Corsair, which again, they're all very rudimentary kits, but they're crackers. Hellcat, I'll just be interested to see how many duplicates they are. Helldiver, yes, there's 2 Helldivers. Avenger, Dauntless, another Hellcat there. They're quite beefy little kits actually. You know, there's some there's a Douglas Devastator. Now I'm not sure if Dad built one of the Devastators. He might have done. Another Avenger. The Ike Val. That's being re-released, isn't it, this year? Or next year or whenever, in the Airfix Classics range. I was interested to see that in the announcement that they're bringing back the Val. So it'd be good to have that around again. There's a Zero. I didn't write on this one. Let's see if we can identify it. Oh, that's another Zero, I would say, by the look of it. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the wrong wing shape. I don't know. I'll have a... or is it a Val? Can't tell. Brewster Buffalo. And another Brewster Buffalo. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 kits in here out of there would have been 18. So my dad built 5 of them. So because I've never built any from this set. The instruction book is fantastic. It's like a a nice thick volume, and there's instructions for every model there. That's familiar to me recently. The Devastator. I think if I do the Devastator in this set, I will do the all over blue, just for a change. Because in actual fact, I've already got two of these trainer version Devastators. There's one that I did years ago that's over in the case of old kits that have been built. But the instructions are fantastic. I mean, it really is quite a tome actually. I might take it to bed tonight and read it. But there's a whole weekend's work there. One of my other favourite parts of this, of course, I've got the best part of two. I've got two lots of decals. I've got all those lovely decal sheets. Aren't they beautiful? There's everything there, everything for every aircraft. So that Val is certainly very colourful, isn't it, with those Japanese markings on in red and yellow. I do like a bit of colour on a plane. Yeah, so anyway, I quite fancy the Corsair, in actual fact. I have done one before. I fancy the Corsair. I don't know about you, but I'm noticing more and more and more that I fancy doing a kit. I think you may have noticed before I've spoken about building the fairy gannet that I've got in my stash, and I was sort of imminently building it, and I got as far as opening the box, and I just went right off it, and I put it back in the stash. Same thing recently has happened with a Westland Lynx helicopter, an HMA-8 helicopter, which I would like to build, not least because my boss is actually a former Lynx pilot, and so I'll be able to get loads of detailed info from him about the actual aircraft itself. But I don't know, every time I open it I just can't be in the mood for a helicopter at the moment for some reason, but its day will come. And I'm sort of doing these spontaneous things, rather like I spontaneously built that field gun and the Austin tractor, and I did the half track. I just saw them, and I fancied building it, and that's what I did. Smaller kits, quicker turnaround, and quite enjoyable to build. I'm still quite keen to build that Lancaster that I got before Christmas from the Facebook site for a tenner, because my son, who's 12, has said he'd like to have it hanging from the ceiling. so I might well tuck into that. Actually, it's going to be a wet and horrible weekend this weekend, so I might spend some time out here. We've got football on Friday night. Reading are away at Bournemouth. That'll be a good game. We're having a run of revenge games where we're playing about 4 or 5 teams that have already beaten us this season, and we had a 0-0 draw with Preston at the weekend. Bournemouth have beaten us, so if we can go to Bournemouth and get a result, that'll be ideal. So modelling time, football time Friday, nick a bit of time out here Saturday and Sunday, and see what develops. It may be the Corsair, it may be the it may be the Lancaster, I don't know. So I'll be as surprised as you next time I make a video. Let's just get a bit of light off that so you can see that box art nicely, that VJ Day set. So anyway, well, I hope you found that interesting. It's you know, these, I've sort of kept an eye out on these gift sets on eBay, and I've seen them going for 70, 80, 90 quid. So I'm quite privileged, I think, to have this in my stash, especially as it was such a bargain at 20 quid in Hobbycraft all those years ago. It's a lot of plastic, it's a lot of model for 20 quid, isn't it? But that's what Hobbycraft have always done, haven't they? I suppose they've got the buying power to do what the little independent model shops like my local one could never do. But but there we are. You can't leave it there, can you? It's for that money. You've got to bring it home. So I think that's about it. I hope everybody is keeping well. I must admit, I'm beginning to sometimes get bouts of being a bit down about all this business with this COVID going on at the moment. There's it seems to me more and more lately that it's getting closer to home. There are people near where I live that have got it, families that I know have got it. A friend of my wife, somebody she went to college recently, passed away at a very young age because he'd contracted COVID, and it's biting on me a little bit now. Work is it's necessary to go to work because my work is such that that we have to keep going because of the sort of thing we do, and it's you know, it's we got to keep the business running. But it's just a question of changing the working patterns to avoid going into public places during the day and so on and so forth. So you know, here's to better times ahead, folks. Here's to better times when we can go back to you know, model exhibitions. Crikey, imagine if we had Telford next autumn. Wouldn't that be fantastic? My favourite one of the year that's local to me is the Aldershot and District Model Club, and they do a really good exhibition in the school at Camberley, and I always save up a bit of cash and go there and see what I can find. Usually bring most of it home, but sometimes there's something appealing there to or a newly released kit that I haven't got that I can pick up for a reasonable price. Always some good traders, always some good second-hand stuff there. So it will be nice to get out and about and sort of see like-minded people again, and meet up with kindred spirits, so we can all have a chat and socialise again. But you know, fingers crossed it's not too long before all that happens again. And also for me, one of my calendar events is the Swanage Diesel Gala down at the Swanage Railway. That usually happens in the spring. Whether it'll happen this year, I doubt. Maybe they'll postpone it back to the autumn, but for heaven's sake, I do hope we're able to get back to normal this year, towards the end of this year. It would be lovely. But for now, we just got to be strong. It's tough for the kids, I think, with this this sort of schooling, homeschooling. My boys, you know, it's I've sat and watched. You know, you just have to sit and listen to this teacher on the computer, you know, talking to you through the computer, and it's difficult to keep up. It's very different to being in a classroom. So let's hope it all gets back to normal soon, but not too soon, so that we compromise our safety. Airfix, I've got the new Airfix Catalogue. Managed to pick that up at W.H. Smith's in Marlow on my way home from work one day. Full of great stuff. I mean, I'm still looking forward to that Bristol Beaufort. And and the Mosquito as well. I mean, I've seen some people criticising it already on the basis of the photographs that they've seen on the internet. Some bloke I read somewhere said, although I'll have to shave the fins of those bombs down there way too thick. Well, mate, it's a test shot. It's not the real thing yet. Wait and see. And this Mosquito, when it comes out, you know, it's a brand new tooling. It's going to be 18 quid. You know, you can't go wrong with that. It's I'm sure it'll be a cracking piece of kit when it comes out. Just trying to think off the top of my head what other highlights there were. Oh yes, I know what there was. The V-Bomber. I noticed that they've taken the Victors out of the range this year, but they've put the Valiant back in. So wouldn't it have been ideal to have the Vulcan, the Victor and the Valiant for at least a year in that catalogue? But no, they've not taken that opportunity. But I suppose there's enough of those Victors floating around for anybody that wants one. But yeah, I just thought they missed a bit of a trick there. No, it's a nice catalogue. It's fairly thick. I think could have done with a couple more ships coming back in. Would, you know, a lot of people were calling out for HMS Fearless. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I've already got one. But there we are. So the new Airfix is out. Just wait for the models to appear in dribs and drabs, I suppose. I know the RAF Buccaneer is out now, and I don't think it'll be long before the Beaufort and the Vulcan are on the shelves. But for my local model shop, it's a case of click and collect. So you don't get the thrill of going in the shop and seeing it on the shelf. You know, that wonderful moment when you first set eyes on it and there it is before you, the kit you've been waiting for. But anyway, that's by the by. So enough waffle from me for now. I'll be on again soon in a couple of weeks with a little another little update and see which kit actually made it onto the workbench. Probably make a start on something tonight actually, because well, the repair shop's on the telly. I might go in and watch that. I don't know, but we'll see. All the best. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing and your kind comments, which I always enjoy reading as they come in. So take it easy, everybody. Happy modelling and warmest greetings from Pete's Plastic Playground. All the best now. Cheers. Bye bye.